forget the peanut butter and the Nutella. Biscoff is our latest spread obsession. And if you, like us, can't kick that cookie butter craving, these Biscoff cinnamon rolls are for you. Shae Memmott joining me to share the recipe. I always say this when I'm on, but I wish smell-o-vision.
Right.
People, we are landing on the moon. Why can we not figure out smell-o-vision? These are amazing. I was actually really surprised when you told me you don't love like traditional fall flavors.
I know, it's weird. People think I'm crazy. I also don't like avocado, which is weird for being a food blogger.
Yeah, that feels like a sin.
But like pumpkin spice, chai, apple cider, I just don't like them.
You are declaring Biscoff a fall flavor.
Yes, I'm like, Biscoff counts as a fall flavor, and I love Biscoff. I will put it in everything. I will change any recipe to add Biscoff to it. Okay,
well listen, she's here to tell us all about it today. We're starting with the dough. Is this just regular like cinnamon roll dough?
Yes, so this is actually a recipe that I came up with. It took like 6 times to get it right, and it's just a variation of like my homemade roll recipe that I always make.
Oh, okay.
And so it's actually very similar to that. And we're just gonna roll it out.
Now, what if we have people like me that don't know if we can do bread? Like, I love to bake.
Yes.
Bread, yeast, that intimidates me.
Okay, so here's the thing with cinnamon rolls is they're really not that hard. They just take a lot of time.
Okay.
Like, as long as you just follow the steps, you really can't mess it up. You just have to be patient because these are gonna rise 2 different times. So I made this morning and let it rise, and then we're gonna roll it out and then let it rise again for about an hour. And then it's really not that hard. Like, there's nothing really technical about it.
She's telling me I can do it.
You just have to make sure that your yeast isn't expired. And so my secret is you keep your yeast like in the freezer, and it'll stay fresh that way and won't expire.
That's a good tip.
And then you roll it out. I have made these so many times, I kind of know the shape that they're supposed to be in. But if you are intimidated by like not knowing how big it's supposed to be, you can measure it with like a tape measure.
Listen, don't put it past me. I would do it. I would do it.
That way you like sincerely can't mess it up.
So we've rolled it out. Is this where you kind of bring in the Biscoff?
Yes.
Is this the moment?
Yep, this is the moment. So we're gonna make the filling. So I'm gonna have you help me.
Oh.
We're gonna take this bowl.
Okay.
Switch these out.
Yep.
This is brown sugar. We're gonna add the brown sugar to the bowl.
Okay.
Perfect.
Cinnamon. So far I haven't messed it up. Cinnamon. Just didn't get it in the bowl a little bit. That's fine.
That's all right. I got flour all over my hands.
Okay.
So we're just gonna make a mess.
Butter.
Butter. And then this is Biscoff. You can use crunchy or creamy.
Oh.
I like crunchy.
I had a feeling you were gonna say you liked crunchy. A little bit texture.
I like the texture of the crunchy. We can actually use this if you want. It might make your life a little bit easier.
You know what? That is gonna make it easier. Let me step aside here.
No, you're fine. And it's gonna be, and it's okay. It might splatter a little bit, but we're just gonna mix it up until it's creamy. That butter is all mixed in. The Biscoff is mixed in. And then we're gonna spread it all over the dough. And it smells. This is when you need the smell-o-vision.
Again, I am just talking about the smell of this. It's so good. I'm a taste-as-you-go baker. By the time I'm finished, I'm like, well, I already know what it tastes like, so I don't need the finished product.
That's my kids. Like, when I make this, they're eating the filling, like, by the spoonful. I'm like, you guys, this is literally just like butter and sugar right now, so
I mean,
maybe you should not eat this by the spoonful.
I mean, let them be kids.
Right, I know.
Okay, and now we're gonna spread.
Yes, so just help me out. Just put it, little dollops everywhere. It doesn't have to be, it makes it a little easier to spread. But
I could see that, yeah.
You can just dump it on.
I'm here to learn. I'm here, you just tell me what to do.
The thing with cinnamon rolls is they're easily, like, there is a lot of room for error. Like, they don't have to be perfect. They can look rustic. They don't have to be.
Rustic, she says.
They don't have to be.
Some would say messy. No. Others would say rustic.
Cinnamon rolls aren't meant to be like beautiful. They're meant to be rustic, I feel like.
They are. Let's just, if no one thought that before, you now should think that.
Yeah, for sure.
So you spread it out.
Yes, and so this part takes a little while. Be patient, because if you were a first timer, you'd be like, okay, this is not gonna go all over the
This isn't gonna make
cinnamon rolls. But you just have to be patient because...
And this isn't overworking the dough or anything. This is, it's fine to take your time here.
Yep, it's fine to take your time here. You want to get it as close to the edges as you can. We're actually going to cut, when we roll it up, we're going to cut both of the ends off because they won't have as much filling. So don't worry about getting it like all the way to the edge. Just as close as you can.
And for time's sake, once this is all spread out, is this where we roll? Do we rise again after this?
Yeah, so we're gonna roll it. I like to roll it long ways.
Okay.
So then you get really big rolls. If you want to make more cinnamon rolls, you can roll it this way, and you'll get more smaller ones.
Okay.
Because these are pretty big, but
So hot dog versus hamburger.
yes,
Back to kindergarten.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you just roll it up, and then the way I like to cut them is with fishing line, and I know that sounds crazy.
No.
You can also use like dental floss that is not mint flavored. Make sure it's like.
Your Biscoff will now be mint flavored if you use the wrong dental floss.
I mean,
don't do that.
if you're into that, I don't know, Biscoff and mint doesn't sound very appetizing to me.
Let's not give anybody permission for that.
Right.
No permission.
And so you roll them up and cut them out, which, like I said, this takes a minute.
And then as far as the frosting goes.
Frosting, yes. So the frosting also has Biscoff in it. You can use creamy or crunchy. I use crunchy for the texture. But if you want to use creamy, like you like a smooth frosting, use creamy. But it's just powdered sugar, some cream, butter, and then the Biscoff again. And you just whip it up. And then I like to spread the frosting on when they're hot so that it like melts into all the little...
I was just about to ask that. When you whip it up, right, it's kind of that like, obviously the more frosting texture, but then when you put it on in that nice, just like warm zone, it just melts into it.
Yeah.
That is the key to a good cinnamon roll.
No, for reals. And when you make the frosting, you're gonna feel like you have way too much, but just put on a little bit at a time, let it melt, get it into the cracks and crevices, and then do it again. And then if you have more, just do it again.
Listen,
like, you can never have enough.
You've convinced me. Goodbye pumpkin spice. Where can we follow more from you online?
Eatplayshae.com is my website, and then on Instagram, that's where I post all my like recipes initially, is just Eat Play Shae as well.
So fun. Thanks so much, Shae. I do that. We'll link you over to Shae's page from our Studio 5 website. You can find all the recipes we share there in the kitchen by going to studio5.ksl.com. Click on the recipe tab in the right-hand corner. It's a great page to bookmark for dinner ideas, sweet treats, and everything in between.